Yeah. So I am going to present about my experience, and I always do this IRM peeling along with ERM removal, always. So I don't have any financial interest. I would like to take you to some scientific knowledge about ILM. First of all, I know that you are all eminent retinal surgeons, but I still need to take you back to some basics. Basement membrane between the neuroretina and vitreous is the ILM, and it provides a support to the surface of contractile cells, and therefore it acts as a scaffold for cellular proliferation in pathophysiology of disorders which affect the vitreomacular interface. So with that, we should also know that there are two different types of epiretinal membranes. Type 1 epiretinal membrane is the one which has collagenous layer interspersed between the ILM and the cells, and there's a cleavage plane that exists between the ILM as well as and the ERM. So it's an easy removal of the membrane. Removing only the first membrane causes certain amount of collagen and cellular debris to remain over the surface of ILM, and it gives scope for a reproliferation. Now this is a video which shows how this type 1 ERM behaves. You can see that there is a cleavage plane. I am staining the ERM under air and I'm removing the ERM first. And obviously, because there is a gap between the ERM and ILM, this has to be now separately attacked. After the removal of the ERM tissue, I'm going to stain again the internal limiting membrane and then remove the ILM separately. So this is what happens with type 1 ERMs. Now I'm making a small initial nick with the diamond dusted membrane scraper, and once I have a small edge, then I can use my forceps to remove the internal limiting membrane, and with that it becomes a relatively traumatic surgery. And with this we are sure, as the OCT shows, there's a complete removal of the epiretinal membrane, and there's obviously removal of the ILM also along with it. Coming to type 2 membranes, these are composed of cells that are not going to directly proliferate over the internal limiting membrane. So there's no tissue in between ILM and the ERM. And so whenever we remove the epiretinal membrane in these cases, you can see that most of the times the ILM also comes off along with the ERM. So there's no reason to separately remove it, but you are going to remove it simultaneously as it is. So here you can see once again, I go in with the diamond dusted membrane scraper, I make a small nick and then remove this tissue. This is obviously an epiretinal membrane, and which is along with the internal limiting membrane coming off beautifully. I stain to confirm that there is no internal limiting membrane material left. And once again, even if I scrape with the diamond dusted membrane scraper, you can see there's hardly anything left behind. So this was a membrane where a type 2 membrane where internal limiting membrane and the ILM came off together. And the OCT confirms that there's no residue on the retinal surface. So there are numerous studies that confirm that ILM removal during the surgery is beneficial because it can prevent recurrences. It has improved anatomical as well as better visual outcomes. There's a histological study by Gibran et al. If you want to go through it, obviously it helps. It shows us how ILM removal is important. Similarly, there is a study by Parley et al. And Bowie et al. They have also proven beyond doubt that ILM peeling is a must in all cases of epiretinal membrane peeling cases. Of course, there are contraindications, especially if Dr. Manish Bapa is operating, it's a contraindication. And yes, and then there is a second contraindication, and that is you must preserve the ILM in case there is a cellular retinal thinning or circulatory or metabolic disorder in cases such as glaucoma. In these cases, you may want to leave the ILM behind. Also, as you know, Dr. Manish is a very busy practitioner and is a very avid cyclist. So if he has to go for his cycling ride, he obviously has no time to look after the ILM, and that's the reason why he's debating against me to preserve the internal limiting membrane. So mind you, audience, don't take what he is saying as a gospel truth. It has to be taken with a pinch of salt and a pinch of brilliant blue dye. Thank you.